Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about a newly shown Hot Toys figure. This time it is the Hot Toys Avengers Infinity War Outrider figure. Now I've made two other videos about this before. One video when Black Widow was shown in the background of one of her images was a very small shot of the Outrider. So I made a video with that. And then the same thing happened with Captain America, but he had a lot more pictures and ones where you could really see the Outrider. Now we have the official on display Outrider where we have head-on photos of it. So I definitely wanted to speak about this. Before I talk about the quality of the figure, I think the biggest thing to mention is the fact that I'm not quite sure if this is actually going to get released. And the reason I say this is because of the way that it's been sculpted. It does not have any knee, ankle, or neck articulation, which is odd. So that either means that this was made with limited articulation specifically for the purposes of display and to pose with other figures in their photos. That's the only thing I can really think of. The only thing that that makes me think that may not be the case is that they've never done that before. Because even the figures that they've produced that have never actually been sold or anything, that they just made for promotion, they've all been like fully articulated. They've been like fully rendered figures, you know. So it's odd that this one would not have the articulation. The only thing I can think of is that in an effort to make these cheaper, so that there's a higher chance of them selling, and so that there's a higher chance of people buying multiple of them, possibly they just reduce the articulation so that they could sell it under like the Power Pose series, and therefore have it be cheaper for them to produce, have it be cheaper for them to be to charge, and then have it so that more people get them and more people buy more of them. That's the only thing I can think of, because it is extremely odd not to have articulation. I know that they do have awkward shaped legs and everything, but even if you needed to stand, you should still have articulation. I mean, I don't see logically why they wouldn't. The neck is the only place where I could see why they wouldn't put articulation, because it's a very awkward neck. The legs, they could totally, you know, throw in a joint there and it would just be as normal as the elbow ones. So it is odd that they didn't include it. So that's the biggest thing I wanted to talk about, is just the fact that I don't know if this is actually going to get sold. I could really see this getting sold, and I could definitely see it not getting sold. At the moment, I'm not really holding my breath for this to actually be produced. But the figure itself does look really nice. The limited articulation, if it were to come out like this, I would be alright with it, because I like the fact that he's taking a step forward. I think that's a nice way to have him posed, and then the neck doesn't bother me at all. Our arms being fully articulated is definitely a huge bonus. You can really see the articulation, especially in this photo. He has ball hinge shoulders with hinge swivel elbows, hinge swivel wrists, of course. He has a ball jointed upper torso as well, or you know, it's not really an upper torso because they're so weirdly proportioned. It's mainly just a ball joint right at the center of the torso. So articulation is good where he has it. It's not good where he doesn't have it, of course, because there are ball jointed hips as well. But the detail in the sculpt does look very nice. And as you can see, there will be multiple versions of the Outrider in the film. This is one that features two sets of arms, as well as the head that is more rounded. Just to give you a little comparison here, the one that I have on the left, that is the Outrider with the kind of like wings on its head and with an extra set of arms. This one's a little more common. The Mystery Minis one that was made was like this as well. So I do kind of prefer this one because I like the head sculpt slightly better, and then the extra arm is just kind of cool. But as you can see, the type of Outrider that they made was in the trailer as well, in the photo where he's fighting Black Panther in that scene in the trailer. And just so you can really kind of get a good idea of the detail in the film, this photo of them attacking the Hulkbuster is actually, it's a really good quality. I'm very surprised. But you can really get a good idea of the detail there. And as you can see, most of them are just the double sets of arms versions of them. So that probably means that the double set is more of the grunts, and then that the either commanders or team leaders, or like maybe just the aggressive, really crazy ones, are the ones that have that extra set of arms, you know. So that's neat. If I had to pick between the two, I would prefer the one that comes with 3 sets of arms, but this is still very cool. I definitely like it. And again, maybe the one less set of arms helps this be a little cheaper, and you know, therefore get actually made. But as you can see, the detail does look very nice on it. There's lots of detail going on. The paint does look very good as well, and just in general, I do definitely like the sculpt. I think that it looks very cool, and personally, if this is not too expensive, I would definitely love to get it. But again, because it's lacking knee, ankle, and neck articulation, I just don't think this is actually going to get produced. He does have a base, and the base is, customized to him. It says Outrider on it, but still, it doesn't really mean much because we've seen that happen all the time. Like even the Black Panther next to him, that's the Black Panther from the Black Panther movie. That is not an Infinity War Black Panther, and yet he has a customized Infinity War base. So that's something, like that base will never see the light of day, but they made it for display. So just because there is a base with this Outrider does not mean the same thing. It doesn't mean that this will get made for sure. So we'll have to see, wait and see. Personally, I do definitely hope it gets made, but I could definitely see this one not being made, unfortunately. But there you go. That's my thoughts on the Hot Toys Outrider figure. Getting like official images of it, like close up, front on images finally. And yeah, I didn't even expect them to make this even just for promotion either. So it is kind of neat to see it, regardless of if it gets made or not. But I am, of course, still crossing my fingers and hoping it's made because I do actually like the design of the Outriders in the film, and they're looking quite cool. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the Hot Toys Outrider figure. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.